Township residents are paying for her fund.
Deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered.
Tiffany Henyard, the so-called super mayor of Dayton, Illinois, is back in the spotlight. But this time, things have taken a much darker turn. Word on the street is that the FBI has captured footage of her attempting to bribe a federal agent. Yes, you read that right. The FBI is now investigating her, and her troubles have just escalated to a whole new level. Can you even imagine being in such deep trouble that your solution is to try and bribe your way out of it? Well, that's the desperate position Tiffany Henyard now finds herself in. And shockingly, her problems? They've only just begun.
Is there a motion to terminate Keith?
Tiffany Henyard's story has been full of shocking twists over the years, but this latest scandal might just be the one that finally brings her down. Imagine this. She's already under investigation for mismanaging taxpayer funds, throwing lavish parties, and making questionable deals. And now, she's allegedly been caught red-handed attempting to bribe federal agents.
Fortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, you have just some kind.
It almost seems too outrageous to believe, but here we are. Sources reveal that the FBI is now diving deep into Tiffany Henyard's financial transactions from the past year, trying to figure out if she's been pocketing taxpayer money or receiving kickbacks for her own benefit. The list of allegations keeps growing. What started as an investigation into Henyard's reckless spending and extravagant use of public funds has now escalated into something much more serious. She's been known to burn through taxpayer money without hesitation, spending tens of thousands on private concerts with R&B artists, splurging on first-class flights, pricey meals, and even funding poorly attended town events.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
Can you believe that Dalton is sinking in debt? Yet Henyard was willing to blow tens of thousands on just a few hours of entertainment. And if that wasn't bad enough, she's also accused of going on a shopping spree, treating the town's credit card like her personal piggy bank, spending nearly $40,000 in a single day on Amazon.
Make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is
$440,000 on a shopping spree. But it wasn't just this spending that got Henyard into trouble. Her issues go much deeper. The town's finances, under the so-called super mayor, are in such disarray that former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was called in to investigate the mess. Lightfoot's initial findings were staggering. Dayton's general fund, once flush with cash, had plunged into a nearly $4 million deficit during Henyard's tenure. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the FBI is now reportedly probing a range of dubious financial activities, including potential kickbacks. One of the most outrageous examples of Henyard's behavior has to be the infamous $85,000 event, the Rig Taste of Thornton Township. What was supposed to be a major success ended up being a total flop. She hired big-name performers, paying $30,000 for Kiki Wyatt to sing for just 30 minutes, and another $20,000 for a brief set by Jay Holiday. On top of that, she spent $6,600 on bounce houses that were hardly ever used. Even her own social media posts couldn't hide the embarrassment.
Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirt.
What's worse? This bribery scandal has only added fuel to the fire of the ongoing investigations into Henyard's administration. The FBI and other authorities are digging deep into her finances, trying to uncover what's been happening in Dayton under her leadership. Let's be clear, this isn't just about overspending. There are serious allegations of outright theft, misuse of public funds, and corruption at the highest levels. If you thought things couldn't get worse, wait until you hear about her personal security detail. Despite Deaton being a small town, Henyard insisted on having a police detail that cost taxpayers hundreds of thousands in overtime pay. One officer even made over $100,000 in overtime alone, more than their base salary. The kicker? The town is so financially strapped it can barely afford basic services. Yet Henyard was using taxpayer money to fund a personal entourage to escort her around. To make matters worse, she fired her chief of police late last year without any approval from the village board, leading to Robert Collins filing a lawsuit against the village. It's no surprise that the residents are furious. They've been protesting, demanding her resignation, and calling for answers. One former trustee even accused Henyard of having her own home shot at after speaking out against her, an allegation that only adds to the chaos surrounding this scandal-ridden administration. As the investigations continue, Henyard is digging in her heels, refusing to back down. She's even resorted to holding board meetings by herself after the trustees walked out in protest over her reckless spending and leadership. Can you imagine a mayor holding a one-person meeting just to defend herself? That's the situation in Deaton. What makes this even more bewildering is Henyard's apparent indifference to the outrage of her constituents. Despite the protests, she continues to act as though she's untouchable. Sources close to Town Hall have overheard her boasting about how she'll outlast the haters, as if this entire mess is just a game to her. It's as though she believes the rules don't apply to her, which fits with her long history of flaunting the law. But with federal investigators closing in, that arrogance may be her undoing, and it's not just her spending that has people upset. Henyard's leadership style has created a toxic environment within local government. Reports have surfaced that key staff members have either quit or been fired under questionable circumstances, adding to the growing list of issues surrounding her administration. As all of this unfolds, speculation about what comes next is intensifying. Could Henyard be forced out of office? Will the ongoing investigations lead to more serious legal charges? Experts suggest that if she's convicted on the bribery charge, it could open the door for additional charges related to misuse of public funds, fraud, and corruption. If that happens, she could be facing decades behind bars. It's a dramatic fall from grace for someone who once marketed herself as Deaton's savior, the people's mayor who was supposed to turn things around. Instead, her time in office has been defined by scandal after scandal, and it seems the walls are finally closing in.